was?
In November.
2017.
Nuh-uh.
Okay, so maybe you were just mentioned in it in somebody's college paper or something. Because when I was trying to do research to to find out like your background and everything, I mean, you definitely got your SEO up there, and that's what I do too is marketing. So I was like,
right.
You're right up there. Something came up with some college, and your name was in there, and it was something about West Coast, and it was rappers, and so I was looking at it. I thought it was a movie at first, you know what I'm saying, but it might have just been some type of article in a college paper.
You know what? You might be. I am in a. There's a guy out here by the name of, which is actually the guy that shoots all my videos that you've seen. I don't know if you've seen him, but
I've seen like 2 of them. One because I love cars, so of course I went to that one.
Okay. Well, that's actually one he didn't shoot. I did that one out in Oakland.
Oh well.
I did that one out in Oakland, and that was shot by a guy by the name of Bro Jackson. Shout out to Bro Jackson out there in Oakland. And then, but I was in a movie. I had a little part in a movie called The System, and that guy is actually a professor at ASU. So that might have been what you heard or read or popped up on, because I do have some credits on that movie.
Yeah, it could have been. I can't remember because I was popping through, and then I tried to get more of it, you know what I mean? But it wouldn't let me go further than that, so I was like, okay, well, there goes that. But I was like, okay, it says like a movie, but it won't go further, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, I don't know what that's all about, but I'm going to ask him, because I was like, what movie was this? But, yeah, it did show up. It did show up, so I was just like searching around, and, but yeah, I was definitely going to go to the car video, because I love cars, and of course, like, the cars out there are different than here, so I was just like, I gotta go check that out. So what projects are you looking forward to next year? Have you already set up some of the projects for 2018 that you can give everybody a little, kind of peek?
Yeah. This year, 2017. First of all, I'm working singles.
That's a good thing.
I'm putting out singles and every single that I put out, I'm pushing like a downright full album. So that's the kind of push that goes behind just the single. Because that's the time we're in right now. Don't nobody care about your whole album unless you...
Exactly.
So right now we just want that quick right now, what's cracking, and that's where the life came from, and muscle cars and all that. So I have an album called I'm Him that's actually been done for close to about 2 years. And I believe that the album is so classic that every song on there is a single. So I'm pretty much taking about 8 different songs from that album and releasing them by themselves, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 years. So me and Cocaine, shout out to my big bro, Buddy Boy ENT. Me and Cocaine put out a song called Way West, which is a West Coast anthem. That's ridiculous that the West Coast just jumped on and loves it. And so we shot the video. So when I say, I'm dropping these singles, we do the visuals, we do the promos, the everything, radios, everything. So, like I said, right now, we're just pushing the singles. 2017, we've dropped 4 singles this year, which was Way West, Lock It Up, which is a tribute to West Coast pop locking and low riding. And I also have the West Coast pop lockers that featured in that video, who were also in Kendrick Lamar's last video, King Kunta. So they're in that video. Then we dropped These Streets, video and all, and then we dropped Muscle Cars. So, and then throughout this year, I won the West Coast Hip Hop Award, Artist of the Year, and then just 2 weeks ago, Arizona had their 2nd annual Hip Hop Award show, and I won Engineer of the Year, Video of the Year, and then I was recognized for the Way West song. So they just, so I came home with 3 trophies that night.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much. So now I'm sitting up in here. Now the other thing is that I won the West Coast Hip Hop Awards 2014, 2015, and 2017. So I got 3 awards from them. And to me, that's a pretty big deal because that is the West Coast. And everybody goes to it, you know what I'm saying? And so to be able to get up there and perform and get down with some of the folks that I used to, have their CDs in my car and bump to and learning, to be able to rub shoulders with them is a major blessing. So
It is, and it makes you feel. At first, like when I first got in the industry, I didn't care about the awards because it was just like whatever, you know what I mean? It's just
Right.
a trophy. I don't care, but I know what you feel because I had won last year and this year, and radio personality of the year for South Carolina, and that made me feel good. You know what I mean? It was just like
Yeah.
urban underground, and I was just like, oh really? Like and it did. It was like finally the recognition, and I had been doing this for a while, so it was like.
Right.
I never expected to
Right.
do radio. I was mainstream doing actually heavy metal and traveling with Ozfest. So yeah, it was a big change, but my heart was with what I grew up with, and that was you know yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's something to be honored and recognized, especially from your hometown. I know that I've done a lot out of town, and and Arizona's a slower paced situation, so we kind of catch on a little later than most. So when I go out of town and see how fast LA's moving and how fast Atlanta's moving, and I'll even put Washington into that. And then you come back here and you see that they're a couple of years ahead of you. But now you have that upper hand because you went and saw it, and you come here and it makes you want more, and it makes you want to do more. Well, it's taken a couple of years for my city and my state to actually recognize that. I know that I get love out here. I know that I'm known, and niggas know my music and shit, and everything is great. But at the end of the day, to actually start getting recognized and getting called for shows that they didn't call you for, in the beginning, and coming home with 3 awards. I mean, yeah, that puts the icing on the cake for you. Makes you think you're doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially when you're going other places, because like you got it Arizona and you got it somewhere else, right? You got it in Cali.
I'm sorry, say that again.
You got it in Arizona just past a couple months ago, right?
Right.
And then you won it. And where was the other one?
The other one was in. I won the one that was in California. We was at the Staples Center. We did that one, and then we did the one in. I think it was it Washington? I think it was Washington was in 2015, and then we just went to Oakland 2017 this year. I think next year it'll be in Portland or something like that. So.
Well, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
Washington was definitely.
Stomp on them grounds and deal with folks that you never dealt with before is a blessing also. So.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Washington's definitely somewhere different.
Yeah, I love Washington. I went down there to shoot the video. The Way West video is actually shot in 3 different states. I did it from California to Arizona to Washington. So I did the Northwest, the Southwest, and the West because the song is called Way West. So I went out there and. Like I said, Cocaine, he's in the video, and I went out there and spent 5-6 days with Cocaine, shot the video, and he showed me around. We was at all the clubs and all the functions and stuff, and I had a bomb time. The only difference is I'm from Arizona, and it's very, very sunny out here and hot, and then down there it's kind of gloomy. I mean, it just constantly rains. And
oh, really?
How you live? Yeah, in Washington it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was the only difference that I was like, nah, I don't know that I could, live here, but nice experience. It was a nice experience, so.
So was it raining like every day or just like part of it?
It rained at least sometime during the day. And then I remember, even in that video, you can see that there's some rain going on where the guys hopping the cars out in Washington. It poured at one point, but throughout the day, sometime during the day, it's going to rain on you, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think I could deal with that either. That's like very depressing, like having rain all the time. I couldn't handle that.
Exactly what I thought. That's got to be depressing out there, constant rain.
Yeah, I couldn't have that at all. That would drive me crazy.
Right.
Definitely. So this year you're going to push the singles too.
Well, the singles, like I said, the last one that we just dropped actually will be released on iTunes because everybody's on break right now. The industry shuts down, and so that one will be up and ready to go on iTunes, which is Muscle Cars, the end of January. And then now at that point, I've got how many? 4, 5, 6 different singles that I've dropped off of this 17-track album, and so by February. I've done enough. February, March, I've done enough of the pushing and showing that there's more than one slapper on the album. So come February, March, we'll start looking at getting ready to drop the full album. And then I got a whole nother album that's ready to go. Just because I got an album don't mean I stop recording. So I got Arsenal. So I got a whole nother album that's sitting there called Conrad Bang, and that one will be the next one that we'll start after. So I'm sitting here on another. 2018 is going to be a beast because I'm finna pound the pavement. I'm finna drop a full album, and then on top of that, my team, shout out to Factory Music, Team Westwood, Raw Dollar, Lisa, Monique, and all my cats that deal with my brand and help me do what I do. We're getting our stuff together to where by 2019 I'll be able to sign new artists to my label and be able to push them.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's what the entire goal is for 2018. I'm gonna push this music to make that money off of it and get it to the masses to be able to pay for what I need to do to have 2019 ready to go and official and solidified.
So setting people, yeah. That sounds awesome. See, and now I'm impressed with that too because a lot of artists, I try telling them about the singles, and I've been telling them, like, back in the day when people used to come into the music store and they bought the maxi singles or they bought, the two singles, they don't want the whole CD unless they know all the songs or at least 4 songs out of the CD or 5 songs. The more singles they knew, the more that, they'd want that CD.
Right,
well,
exactly.
I tell artists over and over, you're making the singles, that's great, but you putting out the whole CD after one song, people aren't going to buy your stuff or they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know that one song if you're not pushing it hard enough or long enough.
Exactly. And I look at it like, like I said, I dropped my first album. I have 4 albums out already.
Right.
And what I learned with that was that it's poker and you don't show your whole hand at the beginning of the game. So that's where the singles come in. You lay a card down one at a time. And that's where the singles come in. And then if you don't know your promotion and you don't know how to, set up radio interviews and get your music out there, then that full album that you just showed your entire hand is going to die in 30 days if you're lucky, because only so many homies are going to buy that album if any of them do. You're going to end up giving it out. And now you've just wasted an entire album, where you didn't follow the blueprint, because I didn't make this up. This is, like you said, back in the day, didn't nobody want the full album. We wanted the maxi single. So I didn't make any of this up. I'm just following the rules. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's, I believe it too. Like, I work with a couple of artists, and I tell them that too. And he's doing the same thing. He's pushing 2 singles. You know what I mean? And he's doing really well with it. But some of them, you know how stubborn they can be, and they're just not. They want to just keep pushing albums and maybe doing 1 single drop, and then 3 weeks later pushing. And I'm like, nah. You ain't even pushing it out to a lot of people. What's your next show? Like, when's your next show gonna be?
Right now, we've got in February the Arizona Super Lowrider Show will be here, and that is a show that goes from California to New Mexico to Texas to Arizona, most of the western states, and it's all about lowriders, and it's about a 10,000 people show.
Wow.
So, this will be the first year that I actually was invited to do it. And I'm super excited about that because that's really my lane. That's the square I'm on. And so I'm super excited to do that. After that, we have a little tour set up of these California sessions. And so I'm going to go out to California probably every weekend. I'll try to be out there doing what I got to do to push, what I got going on. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff going on, believe that.
So this lowrider thing, that's outside? Well, obviously it's outside, but I mean, is it like a big arena, or is it streets? How's
let's put it like this. It's the Arizona Cardinals Stadium.
Oh, wow, okay, so it's a big, I got you.
Big. It's pretty damn big.
Oh, that'd be cool, though.
Yeah, and then, all the cars from all over the West Coast come and get on display. And if you're into that type of thing, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because I'm a real car buff, and I love the lowrider.
So is it like a whole weekend?